All right, welcome everyone live from Archer Shaw Temple in Puerto Vallarta. Welcome to Merkaba Temple Online. So I invite you just to take a breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Allowing yourself to arrive, not into a teaching, not into an idea, but into your body. This morning is simple. We're not here to give you something new. We're here to bring you into contact with something you already know. Merkaba Temple is an interspiritual sanctuary. You are welcome here whether you walk with Christ, Krishna, Buddha, Shiva, the Divine Mother, the Earth, or your ancestors, or maybe simply the quiet intelligence within your own heart. And wherever you are joining us from today, across cities, countries, or seasons in your life, you are in the right place. So just notice how you're arriving, not how you think you should feel, but what is actually here.
And today is a very special day in our lives and in the life of Merkaba Temple. For the first time in 20 years, Aeon is celebrating 1 year of continuous sobriety. Woo!
Exciting.
All of you have been on this journey with us this year. You have seen him grow. You have seen him walk through it, and he has walked through it every moment of every day, every breath, every challenge, every triumph. I'm so proud of him. It's huge. This is so huge. And for us all to be here, this is a celebration for all of us because he couldn't have done this. We couldn't have done this without each other. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So nobody needs to be ready for what we're stepping into today. We don't have to have it figured out yet, and we don't need to understand it yet. But what we need to be is willing to be honest with ourselves. Because what we're stepping into today is not about pushing us forward. It's about something quieter than that. It's about the place in our lives where something has already been asking for our attention, and we've been waiting. Not because we're incapable, but because something in us isn't sure what it will cost.
So I invite you just to begin here, with breath, with presence. Allow your body to soften and your nervous system to settle, and let whatever you've been carrying this week be set down, even just a little. Because what we're moving into today is not about effort, it's about seeing clearly.
And if you feel it, drop a word into the chat, just one word for how you're arriving today. The emojis are on, the chat is on. Feel free to participate. We would love to hear from you. Let's all stay connected in this together. We are so glad that you are here. Welcome home.
All right, so let's keep this aligned with, so let's formally open the energetic gateway or space of today's service with the Adi mantra. The Adi mantra is a mantra of humble invocation. It means I bow to the infinite wisdom, the divine teacher within and without, the intelligence that already knows what is true. And this morning, let this be simple, not something you try to do right, not something you need to understand, just a softening, a turning inward, a willingness to listen a little more deeply than usual.
And this is not about belief, it's about orientation. It's a willingness to stop leading from the surface and allow something deeper to begin to lead. So you don't have to make anything happen here, and you don't have to open anything. We're just going to breathe, stay present, and let the sound do what it does.
So we'll take 3 deep breaths together, and on the 4th breath, we'll chant Ong Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. So if you know it, join us. If you're new, you can listen and enter when you feel ready. So let's begin by rubbing our hands together, activating the left and right hemispheres of the brain, creating some energy, some fire. Now pause, bring the hands to heart center, taking a deep breath in and release. Another deep breath in and release. Fully. Deep breath in and release. Receive the breath to begin. Om. Namo Gurudev Namo. Divine light, in us, through us, and as us, we arrive here today honestly, not as who we think we should be, but as we actually are. You have already shown us the places we've been avoiding, the conversations we haven't had, and the decisions we've been circling, the doors we keep walking past. Not because we don't know, but because we are afraid of what might be waiting on the other side. Give us the courage to stop turning away from what is already clear. Not all at once, not by force, but by staying. Staying present with what we feel, what we know, and with what is quietly asking to be lived. Steady us in the moment before action, where the mind wants to delay, and something deeper is already ready. Help us trust that what is true is not here to harm us, that what we've been avoiding is not the end of something, but the beginning of something more real. And as we move through this service, let this not stay in the mind. Let it land in the body, in the places where we hesitate, in the places where we already know. We place this moment, this field, and this community into your care. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Guru Om. Amen.
Amen.
Aho.
Aho.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And so it is.
And so it is. All right, everybody, we're going to move into mantra. Mantra, one of the most ancient technologies on earth. And today's a fun one. You guys know this one. It's Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. The words are in the chat. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It's a prayer that translates simply as, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. But this morning, I want you to hear it a little differently. Not just as a prayer for the world out there, but as a reflection of what happens when something in you comes back into alignment. Because when you stop avoiding what is true, when you step toward what you already know, something opens. And that opening doesn't just affect you. It changes how you relate, how you love, and how you show up in every space you enter. So as we move into this mantra, don't try to send it anywhere. Let it move through you. Let it soften what's tight, open what's been closed, and gently remind you that you are part of something so much larger than the story you've been holding. If you don't know it, if you know it, chant. If you don't know it, that's okay. You'll pick it up. No pressure, no performance. Just stay with the repetition and let it work on you. Here we go. All right.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta samasta sukhino bhavantu loka 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 samasta samasta sukhino 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 bhavantu bhavantu loka samasta sukhino 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 bhavantu loka 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 samasta samasta samasta
I saw y'all dancing there.
I know, right?
That's a fun one.
I also want to welcome Dave. I see Dave in here. I saw Ben. We're so glad that you're here this morning and you're joining us.
Welcome, everyone.
So just take a breath. Deep breath in and release.
Yeah.
And simply notice what is here now. Not what you think should be happening, but what is actually here. Because what we've been touching this morning, through the mantra, through the stillness, is something very simple. There's something in your life that you already know, something you felt, something you've seen, something you haven't moved toward yet. And what you're about to hear is not going to give you new information, it's going to meet you right there. At Merkaba Temple, we honor many sacred paths, and we also acknowledge the presence of our Guru, Guru Nityananda, not as someone to follow, but as a voice that points directly to what is already true. So, as you listen, just stay close to that place inside you that already knows, and let the words meet you there. Jacob will now read Guru's transmission. Brother, the floor is yours.
Thank you, brothers. Children, there is something in your life you already know. A door you have been circling. A truth you have already seen. A step you have not yet taken. Not because you do not know, but because you fear what waits on the other side. You imagine loss, discomfort, pain. But what if what waits for you is not your pain, but your life? What is true does not force you. It does not chase you. It simply remains, quietly, until you are ready to stop turning away. You do not need more time, more signs, more confirmation. The knowing has already been given. What you are avoiding is not the burden, it is the doorway. So come closer, honestly, gently, without delay, and meet what has been waiting for you. Om Guru Om, Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How was that for you? You're welcome to share in the chat. Now it's time to get into some music. Sapphire is going to take us there with her beautiful voice. Sapphire, the space is yours.
So I have a little speech. I wanted to make sure that I chose a song that reminded me of Aeon, especially when we met along our journey. So this is a song by Jungle featuring Priya Raghu, and it's called Goodbye, My Love. I got a thing, I got a feeling, I gotta say there's a sun that will shine. I gotta burn, I gotta burn, only to tell you my love. Did you think it could be your time? Did you think we could make it right? If I can't pretend you're mine, I'll be done. Yeah, yeah. God is my girl, she is my teacher. Morning will rise to us all in this town. I gotta learn all for the spirit, only if you are my love. Did you think it could be your time? Did you think we could make it right? I can't pretend you're mine. We're done. There you go.
Oh,
Thank you.
amazing.
Receive
That
love.
was so beautiful.
I love you, Sapphire.
Wow. All right. Okay, everybody, just take a breath and let that settle. No need to rush past it. Simple, sweet, beautiful. If something became more clear or more present, just notice that. Because what you're feeling right now, that quiet knowing, that place you've been touching, that's the doorway. And what we're moving into now is going to meet you right there. Not as an idea, but as something lived. And Aeon is going to take us into that, into the place where we hesitate and what might actually be waiting on the other side. Aeon, the temple is yours.
Thank you.
I love you.
Talk about some divine timing. You know, over the course of all of these services that we've done over the past 6 months, there have been a couple times where maybe I couldn't make a service and Christopher.
9 months.
Oh, 9 months, yeah. Where Christopher would have to do that Sunday. So it's not always been like an equal cadence of taking turns, but it's just interesting how it lands on my 1 year anniversary and I get the opportunity to do the temple service. So like it's super exciting. And we never really know how our higher power, whatever you call higher power, how it's organizing our lives on our behalf when we lean into that. So this week, today, marks 1 year. And I want to say that simply without too much ceremony around it, because honestly, the most remarkable thing about this year is not that it happened, because it almost didn't. I almost didn't let it happen. For a long time, I told myself I wasn't ready, that the timing wasn't right, that there were other things to handle first, that I had to go to work, that I had to, I couldn't give myself the time or the freedom or the space to get well. But if I'm fully honest with you this morning, and this community has sort of always asked that of me, the truth is much simpler than that. I was afraid. I was terrified. I was not afraid of failing. I was afraid that it was going to hurt. I was afraid of what I might find when I stopped moving fast enough to avoid myself. I had constructed a very convincing story that the thing waiting on the other side of this decision was pain, was loss, was emptiness. But what I found instead was my life. And that would make me cry because it's so true. And I don't usually Christopher's the one that cries during his teachings. I'm not a crier usually typically, but this is really emotional for me because it's just been an incredible year. The Yoga Sutras, which are one of the oldest sacred psychological texts on this planet, name this as one of the deepest human afflictions. Not a personal failing, not a character flaw, but it's like this ancient instinctive clinging to the familiar, even when the familiar is the very thing that is hurting us. And the sages were saying thousands of years ago what we are all still learning today, that we do not avoid hard things because we are weak. By any means, we are not weak, but we avoid them because the fear of the unknown feels more dangerous than the pain that we already know. And most of us will stay in a familiar suffering, and I mean for years, rather than risk an unfamiliar freedom. I know I did. And honestly, I even watched my mom go through this. And it's been beautiful to watch her journey because she stayed in the familiar suffering of an unhealthy relationship with my stepfather for 16, 17, 18 years, but finally got the courage to step out into her life and her path. And it has just been incredible to watch the transformation that she has gone through over the course of the past 12 years now, I believe, that they've been separated. So this is not unique to me. This is a familiar story, and it resonates with all of us. So this week, I also decided to try something a little different and pull a couple tarot cards before writing the teaching. And as I was shuffling the deck, the cards that jumped out were the Magician and the Empress. So I sat with them for a long time because something about the two of them together felt like they were answering the very question I had been sitting with all week. The question this year of sobriety has been asking me quietly almost every day. What might be waiting for you on the other side of the thing you keep not beginning? Because I am standing here 1 year later, and I want you to know, the thing I avoided for the longest, 20 years, became the very thing that set me free. Now, we'll go over the Magician card. The Magician is the card of sacred will. It is the card of conscious choice, of waking up to what has already been placed in your hands, because you have every single tool available to you. You have everything that you need to succeed. Every truth, all of that is already inside of you, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be accessed. In traditional imagery, the musician stands at a table, and on that table are all four elements. Everything needed to do the work in front of him. He lacks absolutely nothing. All of the tools are there. But here's what I learned this year, is you cannot use what you have never truly examined. One of the things the Yoga Sutras teach, and this has lived in me all year as well, is the practice of honest self-study. Not self-criticism, not shaming myself, not self-improvement as a project, but genuine, courageous, tender inquiry into who I actually am. What actually moves me? What motivates me? What lights me up? What gives me joy? What makes me feel good inside? What do I actually need to thrive? And what have I actually been carrying that is keeping me from that? What thoughts, what patterns of belief, what shows up at specific times a day? When am I energized? When am I not energized? What foods make me feel good? What foods make me feel bad? Like honest self-study on every level of the human experience. Our thoughts, our devotion, our spiritual nature, the way we feed ourselves, the content that we consume, all of these things. And stepping back into the awareness, not into the judgment, of noticing how my choices affect how I feel. Because that's the translation. So I thought I knew myself before this year. I had opinions about myself. I had a story about myself. But opinions and stories are not the same as knowledge. So this year has been like meeting myself for the first time. And it's been incredible, challenging, fun, exciting, depressing, all of it. And I've got to be present for all of it. But I also discovered my passions that I had long buried and forgotten. I started to understand how I was wired. Like I said a moment ago, what lights me up, what depletes me, what I actually value and care about when I'm not performing or managing or numbing. And I began to see gifts I had been using unconsciously, some of them in service of growth, and honestly, some of them in service of my avoidance. It's interesting because sometimes our gifts, depending on how we choose to use them, can either serve our growth or serve our disconnection. And so it's stepping back into that self-study and taking stock of who we are and what activates us. And we can turn things that we typically would see as a character deficit into a character asset. Because it's just the same thing, it's just one thing on the same spectrum. And that is what the magician is really asking. Not, do you have power? You have power, trust me. It is how you use that power, or that has never been the question. The question is, are you awake to it? Yes, you have power, but are you consciously engaging with it? Because power that moves through us unconsciously doesn't disappear. It just gets directed by whatever is loudest inside of us, or whether that be our fear, our pain, out of habit, or hunger, this hunger for relief. And I can relate to the hunger for relief because I was stuck in that cycle, just like trying to fill this deep, empty hole inside of me that was really seeking a relationship with God, but I was so disconnected that I didn't understand that. And recovery, and I would say any genuine spiritual practice, because recovery is a spiritual practice, is the sacred process of learning to pick up the tools on the table with conscious awareness, with your eyes wide open, and with intention, using them intentionally. And again, going back, that all circles back to self-study, is stepping outside of the thoughts and resting in the silent, vast spaciousness of your being, the silent awareness, and just observing yourself. Now, there was a moment early in this year where I realized I had spent years being incredibly capable and incredibly asleep at the same time. I could show up for everyone else. I could lead, I could teach, I could hold space, I could inspire. And I was doing all of it while quietly avoiding the most important conversation in my life. And that conversation was with myself. And now the magician doesn't shame you for that. He just turns to you and he says, you have everything you need. It's time to wake up to what's in your hands. Take a drink of water. Almost fell over the chair. All right, so we're going to go into the Empress. And then there is the Empress. So if the magician asks you to wake up to what you carry, the Empress asks you something quieter, something more tender. What are you allowing yourself to receive? You see, the Empress is the card of abundance, of nourishment, of a life in full bloom. She is not striving. She is not performing. She is not managing impressions or holding herself together for the sake of anyone else in the room. She is simply And this is the radical part, flourishing. That is her nature. Her nature is flourishing. That is your nature. Your nature is to flourish. And oftentimes that flourishing is on the other side of the door that we've been avoiding. And I want to tell you what this year has actually looked like, because I think sometimes when we talk about transformation, we skip over the texture of it. We go straight to the breakthrough, and we miss the beauty of the ordinary days. Because even ordinary days are abundant. Even ordinary days are a part of the flourishing. This year, incredibly special people came into my life. All of you, Sapphire, Roy, Jacob, Karen, like so many incredible people. And I woke up to some of the incredible people who were already in my life, who I had not even connected with. Christopher. Now, people who are also doing the work themselves, genuinely growing. Jennifer, genuinely evolving, genuinely committed to becoming more alive. And I want to say something about that, because I don't think it's a coincidence, because when you begin to do the inner work yourself, you become available to a different quality of connection. You stop attracting what numbs you, and you start attracting what nourishes you. That is the Empress at work. So this year I'd rediscovered passions I had long forgotten were mine, like I said earlier. Things that lit me up before. I learned to suppress what I needed in favor of what was expected. And there was something almost grief-like about that. Finding something precious you didn't realize you had lost. But mostly it felt like coming home. I also want to be honest that there were challenges, questions about my identity, about how the authentic version of me fits into this world. Questions I had been avoiding most of my life. About what role I am actually here to play. How do I make a difference? How do I show up? How do I start to really express my authentic self as I discover this authentic version? You know, there was a time where I would think I had reached a level of authenticity and I would create all of these things in that level, but then a deeper level would appear and all the things that I had created no longer resonated with me. And so then I would really land in this level of authenticity and I would create all these things, and then an even deeper level of authenticity would appear. So it's been this really weird journey of, I'm there, create. Oh, nope, not quite. I'm there, create. Oh, nope, not quite. So it's been a lot of creating and also a lot of self-discovery in that process of creating something that I can contribute to the world. So discomfort in the light is not the same as suffering in the dark. Struggling with real questions about your life while sober, while supported, while connected, that is not the same as struggling as the same type of struggling I was in before. It looks similar from the outside sometimes, but it feels completely different on the inside. The Empress doesn't promise you the absence of difficulty. She promises you fertility. She promises that when the conditions are right, when you are nourished, connected, honest, tended, things grow. You evolve, even through the hard seasons. I call the hard seasons manure, because it's like, when shit happens, you just use it to nourish your garden. It's just, that's the best way to do it. You don't want to waste the shit, because if you waste the shit, you're not going to nourish your garden. So it helps. When shit happens, nourish your garden with it. And at the center of all of it, for me, has been Christopher and this community. All of you have been my anchor. Not in a way that kept me small or dependent, but in the way that a root system works, invisible to most people, quietly holding everything upright, allowing the tree to grow taller than it ever could have alone. I'm going to cry again. Wow, it's twice in one teaching.
Let it go.
You're rubbing off on me, Christopher.
Let it go.
The Yoga Sutras call this the third movement of transformation. Surrender. Not giving up, not collapsing, but the radical act of releasing the illusion that you were ever meant to do this alone and allowing something greater, love, community, The divine expresses itself in the relationships we share with each other to hold what we cannot hold by ourselves. I did not set myself free alone, and neither will you. So here's what I want to bring. Here's how I would like to bring this home. The magician and the empress together are not just a beautiful pairing of cards. They are a map. They are showing us the two movements of every genuine transformation. First, you wake up to what is in your hands, to the tools that God has already given you. Then, allow life to bloom in your care. It's necessary to tend the garden. You can't just throw shit on it and expect it to grow. If you want a beautiful garden, you got to take care of it. But neither of those movements is possible while you're standing on the outside of the door. You can't tend your garden and not leave your house. The Yoga Sutras describe the path of transformation as three things working together. Discipline, like I said a moment ago, self-knowledge, and surrender. And what I find so honest about that teaching is the order. Discipline comes first. The daily choice to show up for yourself, for your relationships, for your community. And the self-knowledge follows. The slow, courageous, trust me, courageous process of actually meeting yourself, getting to know who you are. And then the surrender comes last, because it's not in defeat, but as the moment you finally trust that you do not have to carry this alone. And that, in a nutshell, is the year I just had. 365 days of discipline, of self-knowledge, of surrender, and community. And honestly, at 365 days ago, 365 days looked like a long road. But, it actually went faster than I imagined, because it turns out that the life on the other side of that door that you have been avoiding, or that I avoided, is not a burden waiting to exhaust you. It is a current waiting to carry you. I'm going to ask you something before we close, and I want you to sit with it honestly rather than answer it quickly. What in your life are you avoiding right now? Not what are you struggling with, not what is hard, but what is the thing that you've been circling for weeks, maybe months, maybe like me for 20 years, that you've convinced yourself you are not ready for yet? And what is the door you keep walking past? Because that is the door you keep walking past because you have decided that what's behind it is going to be painful. Because I want to offer you the possibility, not a guarantee, but a genuine possibility that what is waiting behind that door is not what you fear, because it might very well be your life. It might be the version of yourself that you've never met, but have always somehow known is there. It might be the freedom you've been looking for in every place except the one place it actually lives. I did not know 1 year ago that all of this was waiting for me. The clarity, the community, the rediscovered passions, the quality of love I now get to live inside every day, the sense of being genuinely, solidly, unmistakably myself in the world for the first time. Okay, that's 3 cries in one teaching. Man, I did not know any of that was on the other side. I just had to walk through. So before I close, I want to say something directly to Christopher. Now I'm going to really try not to cry because I cried when I wrote this. You have been, in the truest sense of the word, my home this year. Not a place I return to when I'm depleted, but the ground beneath my feet. The thing that made the growth possible. Thank you for being the kind of love that lets me be me. And to this community, Merkaba Temple, You've shown me what it looks like when people choose each other consciously. When we gather not out of habit or obligation, but out of genuine commitment to each other, to becoming more alive together. You have been my example. You've been my witness and my proof that transformation is not a solo act. I am 1 year sober today because of the grace of something greater than myself. And that something greater has a face. And it looks like every single one of you. The magician says you have everything you need. The empress says you are made to flourish. And the oldest wisdom traditions on earth say you were never meant to do this alone. So whatever the door is, it's time. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Guru Om. Amen. Aho. Ashe. And so it is. Christopher will now lead us in our guided meditation to embody this teaching. Thank you.
Okay. So if you're not already in a position that allows you to be still, find a position that allows you to be still. Letting the body settle without forcing it. And if it feels natural, closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in, and a full exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Letting the breath return to its natural rhythm. Feeling the weight of your body, the ground beneath you. Nothing to hold, nothing to manage. Just here. Now bring your attention into the body, into the center of your experience. Not thinking about it, but feeling it. And just notice what's here. No need to name it and no need to change it. Just notice it. Now I want you to bring your attention to something in your life right now that you already know. A place you've been circling, a decision you've been delaying, a truth that's already clear. And let it come into awareness. Not the story about it, just the actual thing. And take a moment to feel how your body responds. Notice if there is resistance, hesitation, the pull to move away. But I encourage you to stay. No need to fix it. No need to act on it. But just don't leave. Take a slow breath in and let it move through that space. And exhale without pushing anything away. Again, inhale. And exhale. Now feel into this. What you're sensing is not confusion. It's knowing meeting fear. And just see that without judgment and without pressure. And now gently, without forcing anything, without trying to figure out what comes next, just allow a small shift. Instead of turning away, stay one breath longer. Instead of delaying, just stay present. And feel what happens when you don't leave. There may be discomfort. There may be openness. There be maybe nothing at all. But let it be exactly what it is. Now quietly inside, ask yourself, what might be waiting for me here if I stop avoiding this? And don't answer with your mind, just feel. Take a deeper breath in. Feel your body again. Your chest, your hands, your face. The simple fact that you are here. One more full breath in. And a complete exhale. And gently, when you are ready, opening your eyes and coming back to this place. All right, before we jump into what's next, 17 years ago in Windsor, Ontario, my beloved father, who is here with us today, was in Windsor, Ontario with all of my family to celebrate my first year of recovery. And that year I received this chip. I've kept it like all of the others over all these years. Blood, sweat, and tears in this chip. 18 years of blood, sweat, and tears in this chip. And today, I offer it to my beloved Aeon.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Woohoo! Exciting. Good stuff. Before
right.
we close today, we're going to take a moment for offering. And I want to keep this simple and honest. What you've been in this morning, this space, this teaching, this community, it doesn't exist on its own. It's something we're all building together. And if you felt something today, if something landed, if something in you recognized itself, then this is a moment to respond to that. Not later, not when it's more convenient, but now. Because the same pattern we've been sitting with this morning, seeing clearly, feeling something real, and then waiting, it shows up here too. This matters. I feel this. I'll come back to it. And most of the time, we don't come back to it. So let this be a practice, closing the gap between what you feel and how you move. If this space supports you, support it. If this work matters, invest in it. Not from pressure, not from obligation, but from alignment. You can give at merkabatemple.com/donate, or take out your phone, open up Venmo, and you can find us at Merkaba Temple, all one word. So take a moment, feel what's true for you, and act from there.
Thank you. All right, we have some announcements before we take off for the day. This summer, we're offering our Colorado Immersion Series in Evergreen, Colorado. These are 2 small, intimate retreats designed for real reset, clarity, and deep realignment. If you've been feeling the call to step into this work with us, this is a powerful way to do it without leaving the country, for those of you that are in the USA. No more thinking about it, all right? No more researching it. It's time for you to make the decision. Today, spots are filling up. There is a way, I promise. Do not worry about finances. Do not worry about air travel. Do not worry about anything. Let the universe take care of you. Right?
Get into the flow, the current. Right?
You can find more info at merkabaretreats.com.
And if you're feeling something more immediate, now is actually one of the best times to come work with us in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
From now through October, we're in low season, so flights are way more affordable. The pace here slows down, and the space becomes even more supportive for deeper work. So if you've been considering a private one-on-one immersion, or maybe a couples retreat or a chosen families immersion, summer is the window.
Yeah.
And once again, no more pondering whether this is right for you. Your soul will know. It's time to listen.
And lastly, we have been publishing consistently across both Merkaba Temple and Merkaba Retreats blogs. We have some great writings on there. I just released a series of essays on money, which is all of us think about money, right? So there's a beautiful new series on money at merkabatemple.com/blog. And Aeon recently shared an article on the importance of the container and the role that the facilitator plays in sacred plant medicine work. So his latest blog post can be found at merkabaretreats.com/blog.
And if this work resonates with you, take some time with those, and make sure you're on our email list so you can stay connected to everything that we're building. And also make sure to share this community with anyone you know who you feel would benefit from it.
Yeah, share. We're out there, so share about us, please. Bring your friends. We would love that to continue to build our family. So thanks everybody for being here on this special 1-year anniversary day. We love you. We honor you with all of our hearts. And as we do each week, let's close the service today with prayer. Divine light in us, through us, and all around us. We come to the edge, honestly. Not searching for more clarity and not asking for more time, but recognizing what we already know. You have shown us the place we've been circling, the door we've been standing near but not walking through. So give us the courage to stop waiting, not by force, not all at once, but by telling the truth and staying with it. Teach us to trust what is real does not require protection. Steady us in the space between what is ending and what has not yet fully formed, that we do not have to hold it all together, manage it, or control it. Let what is no longer true fall away cleanly, and let what is real stand on its own. As we walk forward from here, be with us in the moments that matter, in the decisions we've been delaying, in the conversations we've been avoiding, and in the quiet places where truth is asking to be lived. Let us not turn away. Let us not go back to sleep. Let us walk in alignment with what has already been revealed. We place this path, our community, and this moment of clarity into your care. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Guru Om, Amen, Aho, Ashe, and so it is.
Beloved family, thank you so much once again for being with us today. Thank you for your presence, your breath, your open-mindedness, and your dedication to our beautiful community. Let us seal today's service by singing the Longtime Sun in Satnam. The word can be found in the chat. Also, a shout out to our amazing Horizon Council, Jacob, Sapphire, and Roy. Roy, I almost called you per se for a second. Time, sun, shine upon you. All love surround you. And pure light within you guide your way on. guide your way on. May your long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. May your long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Key change. Guide your way on.
Bringing your palms together to heart center, posing with Sat Nam.
Sat Nam. Truth is our identity. Sat Nam. One more time. Sat Nam.
Sat Nam, everyone.
Everybody.
Sat
Sat Nam.
Nam.
Thank you all for being
Truth
here.
Is our identity. Give me just 1 second.
1 second.
All right, let's
All right.
get down to here. Up.
As we close, you are warmly invited to stay for fellowship if you're able, to connect, to share, to be together. And if you need to go, know that you remain connected to this temple, to this community, and to the living current that moves through all of us. So, walk in light, walk in love, and remember, we are all one. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Guru Om, Amen, Aho, Ashe, and so it is. And as